Hello everyone, welcome to MVP Vishwakosha. Today we are discussing 15th and 16th August 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is related to 79th Independence Day and PM Modi's speech. Okay, so in this some of the highlights in that Independence Day, some theme and celebration. So the event operated under the banner of Naya Bharat, that is New India, and embodied the vision of building a modern, self-reliant nation by 2047, and also celebrated at the Red Fort. And the ceremony was led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who delivered his 12th consecutive Independence Day address. Okay, and also making his first since beginning his third term. Okay, marking, and also that is PM Modi's Independence Day address, also some highest, that is longest day speech in India's history, lasting 103 minutes, covering the diverse themes from national security to economic reforms. So, and in perspective, this security and defense focus, that is especially about, he spoke about that Operation Sindhu, that is retaliation against April Pahalgam terror attack, and also emphasized India's readiness and strategic restraint, and also strong warning issued to Pakistan. And also India will not tolerate terrorism and is prepared to respond decisively. And also emphasis on self-reliance in defense, and also including deployment of indigenous system like the Sudarshan Chakra mission to modernize national security 2035. And coming to economic measures, announced GST cuts set to take effect from October, and also aimed at boosting consumer demand, and also promoted self-reliance, that is Swadeshi, across manufacturing sectors, that is fertilizers, jet engines, EV batteries, and also amid rise trade tensions with the US. Okay, and also in strategic acknowledgement called that RSS, the biggest NGO in the world, lauding its century-long societal contribution, and also urged political unity across party lines for nation building in the context of national security and development. And also space vector vision highlighted India's push for autonomy in space, including the upcoming Gaganayana human space mission also. Also in President Murmu's letters also, I told in previous current affairs, right? So in this and also some local celebration and all. Okay, this is about that 79th Independence Day celebration. Okay. Next point, that is about recent recording coral bleaching event in Western Australia. Okay, so that is due to marine heat wave. Western Australia experienced its longest, largest, and most intense marine heat wave on record from this that is August 2024 to May 2025. That is spanning roughly 1,500 kilometer of coastline from Ingalo Reef to Ashmore Reef. Okay, and also in some areas, degree heating weeks exceed 30. For more above the 8 degree heating weeks, that is DHW morality threshold. And also the bleaching and the morality scale, that really shows experienced up to 90% coral mortality. Okay, and also especially that is Mermaid and Clerical reefs. Okay, and also Ninagallo Reef is a World Heritage Site, saw extensive bleaching with mortality ranging from 31% to 60% at heavily affected locations such as Tantan Bidi and Jurabi. Okay, and also bleaching was widespread across previously untouched or resilient regions. Okay. And also in this record context, global link and all that bleaching event is a part of ongoing 2023-25 global coral bleaching event, which was impacted 84% of world's coral reefs. And also scientists attribute these events to climate change, with the 2024 being the hottest year on record and ocean temperature reaching unprecedented levels. Okay. So that is about recent news in Australia's marine coast. Okay. Next news, that is about recent news, that is Trump put in a meeting, summit meeting. That is the primary focus is ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, particularly US led push for a ceasefire. Both leaders held meeting productive, but no formal agreement or ceasefire was reached. Putin received a ceremonial red carpet welcome, including a ride of in Trump's presidential limousine, a major that is PR win for Putin. And also the media confirmation was minimized. Neither leader answered press questions post meeting. And also at the conclusion, Putin invited Trump to meet in Moscow, which Trump did not rule out. And also analyzed and Western observers viewed that Putin as having an upper hand in optics, while Trump delivered no tangible diplomatic outcomes. So very important that in that international relation diplomacy, peace and conflict. So this US-Russia power dynamics and peace negotiation mechanics, and also without Ukraine at the table, and also strategic signaling and legitimacy. Okay, global diplomacy, conflict resolution, leadership, and very important. Okay, so that is about recent USA-Russia meeting. Next point that is about India-Singapore roundtable. Okay, ministerial roundtable that is highlighted the third India-Singapore ministerial roundtable. Okay, in New Delhi. Okay, at Vijnan Bhavan took place just ahead of Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's planned visit to India in early September, adding strategic moment to the bilateral agenda. So in this Singapore delegation, some included that is a deputy PM and also trade ministers, and include minister responsible for national security, digital development, and manpower, energy, and science and transport, finance. And also India's delegation was comprised of key figures like finance minister and external affairs minister and all, commerce ministers and multi-portfolio ministers and all. Okay. So all these focus areas in that both sides reviewed and expanded their cooperation across 6 core areas. That is, one is sustainability, digitalization, skills development, healthcare and medicine, advanced manufacturing, and connectivity. Okay, so all these areas, core areas, and also these include a practical collaboration such as developing sustainable industrial parks in India, and also negotiating agreement under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement for cross-border carbon credit trading to be concluded by COP30. Okay, and also expanding UPI Pay Now system coverage, and also exploring regulatory sandbox for digital data flow and capital market synergies, and also setting up training centers for semiconductors and MRO, that is maintenance, repair, and overall, and also considering the green and digital shipping corridor along with the scaling up aviation and maritime connectivity. And also diplomatic highlights, the roundtable coincided with the 60th anniversary of India-Singapore diplomatic relation and marks the 10th anniversary of their strategic partnership also. And also Singaporean minister called on President Draupadi Murmu, who along with the delegation reaffirmed the bilateral commitment, and aviation was extended to future state visit to Singapore. Okay. So that is about recent meeting, that is India-Singapore ministerial third roundtable. Okay. Next news that is about recent news on human tombs collapse. Okay, so in that in New Delhi, that is during the afternoon, the rains of roof wall of Dargah Sharif Fatesha, a small shrine in the inside the Humayun's tomb complex, that is Nizamuddin Delhi, collapsed while several worshippers took shelter inside. And also casualty and rescues, at least 6 people died and several were injured. Okay, and also 10 to 12 individuals were rescued. Okay, and because of structural insight, that collapse structure was not part of a main tomb but an adjacent elevated shrine. Rains likely weakened its already fragile walls and roof. And also archaeological survey of India assured that the main Humayun's tomb remains in perfect condition, unharmed by its incident. Investigation and legal actions, that is a police case under section related to negligence and unlawful construction, has been registered. Authorities also proving potential encroachment and structural neglect. Okay, so all this Humayun tomb is very important in history perspective, right? So all that. Okay. Next news that is about India's recent news on India's 2020-30 Commonwealth Games bid. Okay, that is Indian Olympic Association formally approving for India's bid to host 2030 Commonwealth Games. So Indian Olympic Association has officially approved India's bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games during the special general meeting that is held on August 13, 2025. The bid will potentially be hosted in either Ahmedabad, Delhi, or Bhubaneswar, with Ahmedabad emerging as the front runner. And also India had earlier submitted as an expression of interest in March 2025 marking a strategic push towards hosting the 2036 Olympics also. So the final bid document must be submitted on August 31st, 2025, ahead of a decision by the Commonwealth Sports General Assembly scheduled in Glasgow in November 2025. So India's full-fledged inclusive games reinstating key sports such as hockey, shooting, badminton, wrestling, archery, squash, table tennis, and women's cricket, many of which were dropped from 2026 Glasgow edition. And also a Commonwealth Sports delegation led by its Director of Games inspected venues in Ahmedabad and met with Gujarat officials as part of due diligence for the bid. Okay. So all this exam perspective that is proposed to host cities and key sports reinstead, all that important hockey, shooting, badminton, wrestling, archery, squash, table tennis, women's cricket, and all. Also linkage that part of India's broader ambition to host 2036 Olympics also very important. Okay, that is about recent formal approach of India's bid to host 2030 Commonwealth Games. Next news that is about recent that is India Sri Lanka that is naval exercise. Okay, so here that recent that featuring marine in the gunnery firing communication that is the harbor phase that is include professional engagement like subject matter and expert exchange and also social and cultural interaction, yoga sessions, sportsing event and best practice sharing and all. Okay, so in this India's navy ships that is INS Rana and the guided missile destroyer and also INS Jyoti fleet tanker have arrived in Colombo practice. Okay, so this 12th edition of Sri Lanka Indian naval exercise SLINEX 2025 is very important and also that hosted by Sri Lanka in Colombo and adjacent sea areas. Okay, and also this Sri Lanka is participating in that LNS Gajabahu and LNS Vijayabahu. Okay, and also SLINEX was initiated in 2005 and has grown in significance, aligning with India's maritime policy of mutual and holistic adjustment for security growth across region and okay, Mahasagar, all that very important. Okay. Next point that is about recent news that is blue pink gill and shuttlecock mushrooms. Okay, so that is blue pink gill mushrooms that is native to New Zealand was spotted in the Kazangar Forest Division of Komaran Beam Ashifad district in Telangana. Okay, so during the monsoon, its vivid blue color comes from rare azuleen pigment, and it has been previously recorded in India only once in Odisha in 1989. Also recorded in Eastern Ghats, the first time was the shuttlecock mushroom that is observed in Kaval Tiger Reserve. Previously, the species was believed to be confined, okay, to the Western Ghats and parts of Western India. Okay, very important. This fungi is here as indicator of thriving fungal diversity in Telangana's forest, highlighting healthy ecosystem functioning during monsoon season. And also fungi, including these species, play critical role in nutrient cycling by decomposing organic matter and enriching soil health. And okay, all this biodiversity, ecology conservation, and all very important. Okay, that is about shuttler blue pink gill and shuttler mushroom. Next news that is about recent appointment of 4 expert member and 2 judicial member to National Green Tribunal. That is Union Environment Ministry formally appointed 2 judicial members and 4 expert members to the National Green Tribunal. Okay, and also newly judicial members are Justice Sudhir Kumar Jain, that is former judge of Delhi High Court, and also Justice Umesh Chandra Sharma, former judge of Allahabad High Court. And also the newly appointed expert members are Sudhir Kumar Chaturvedi, retired Principal Chief Conservation for Forest Gujarat, Ishwar Singh, retired Principal Chief Conservation of Forest Delhi, Dr. Sujit Kumar Bajpayee, member of Commission of Air Quality Management, from Joint Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and Prashant Gargua, the former scientist, okay, at the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, National Clean Air Program and all. So before this order, the NGT had 6 judicial members and only 5 expert members on board. Post appointment, the judicial strength remains 6, while expert strength raised to 7 with 1 additional vacancy still to be filled. Okay, according to NGT Act 2010, the tribunal should ideally have between 10 to 20 judicial members, equal number of expert members. all that NGT Act 2010 and all very important, and governance and environmental, all that environmental and policy implication and all very important. Okay, that is about the recent NGT appointment and all. Next is Project Kusha by the Indian Air Force. That is called Project Kusha is an extended range air defense system, and also XRSAM or PGLRSAM is a indigenous long range surface to air missile system developed by DRDO with the BEL, that is Bharat Electronics Limited, with a key manufacturing partner, and designed for both the IAF and Indian Navy. It fills the coverage gap between the MRSAW, that is approximately 80 kilometer range, and the Russian S-400, that is approximately 400 kilometer range. All these variants are that interceptor variants, and in that M1, M2, M3 variants. M1 is 150 kilometer, M2 is 250 kilometer, and M3 is 350 to 400 kilometer, and also detection and engagement in that. Also integration is very important. Okay, in the strategic policy significance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, and mitigate risk from delays and all, Ukraine conflict, and India's strategic deterrence. Okay, that is about recent Project Kusha. Okay, that is about 15th and 16th August 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.